This 3-day luxury train journey is supposedly Canada's best rail experience.
Wow.
Traveling along the ocean, valleys, and lakes as we roll towards the Rocky Mountains. Staying overnight in hotels so we don't miss a minute of British Columbia's scenery.
This is beautiful.
However, train trips hardly go according to plan.
Train has been delayed for about an hour or so, maybe longer.
We didn't quite make it to Quesnel, but we made it to Williams Lake.
I'm Mike, and welcome to DownieLive as we ride to Jasper from Vancouver.
Except the train doesn't start from downtown Vancouver, but our experience does. We have to go check in and meet the buses here at the Hotel Vancouver. Now, the fun thing about today's train ride is I'm not riding it alone. In fact, I'm bringing a few friends that you probably even know. And here he comes. Oh, looking good.
What's up, y'all?
Howdy.
Hey, morning.
Everyone, we've got Will Edmond back, and Austin's on the channel now. It's going to be a good day, but that's not it. And here he is. Seb's back.
I'm
Good to see you,
back.
buddy. You ready for another?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's go.
Now, we don't leave from a normal train station from downtown Vancouver, so we're taking a bus to a set of tracks in North Vancouver, because we'll be riding on a route that no other passenger train uses.
Oh, yeah. Look at this.
So we're loading from here, an industrial loading area, which may not be what you expect when boarding a luxury train. But I assure you, it's for a good reason. I've wanted to do something all together with these guys for a while, and I figured this train trip would be the perfect activity to actually make it happen. So welcome aboard the Rocky Mountaineer.
Now, we're just boarding, but I already think we're in the best train car because what's special about this train is it has an outdoor deck, and we're at the back of the train. So we'll see that in a minute.
While we sit up above, we'll be dining down below here, but we'll get back to this for breakfast shortly.
So we are in seats 1 and 2, which you would think is at the front, but it's actually at the back. So this is a luxury train. So we have beautiful leather seats with controls. They are heated. They have leg rests. They recline. It's got everything you want except for a massager, basically.
And the views are nice. The windows are so big. Yeah.
The best part, I mean, that's what we're here for, are the views. And these big glass domed windows are gonna do the job. But I'm really excited about this being at the back.
So, now that we're settled in, our 3-day journey begins.
Woo! Here we go!
As we cross under the Lionsgate Bridge, we make our way through West Vancouver, past beaches, through backyards, until we roll right along the water, looking back on Stanley Park disappearing into the distance.
This is stunning. Out of the station and along the water in 3 minutes.
Amazing. Off to a good start.
Yeah.
It's not long before we're out of West Van and traveling through the forest along Howe Sound.
I have never seen that on a train. We're going through a tunnel, but like a tunnel of trees. This is stunning.
Now, while these windows are huge and let us see it all, there's someplace on board that might be better.
Guys, it's looking pretty nice. Should we go to the deck?
I think so.
Yes.
Now's the time. Wow. We're back at it again, Will.
Yeah, man. Love you, bro.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
For the next hour or so, we weave along the shore between the famous Sea to Sky Highway on our right and Howe Sound on the left.
What is this? I've never been this close to a highway before.
A stunning combination of water, cliffs, and mountaintops. Really, just something new to see around every corner. Beyond the exceptional scenery along this route, the service on board doesn't lack either, which is now telling us it's time for breakfast.
Now, it's time for our breakfast.
The dining room fully encompasses the feeling of modern luxury.
I have to say, this dining room is so bright and light. It's one of the nicest restaurants on wheels I've ever been in.
The white linen tablecloths and large windows elevate the dining experience, while the menu has something for all tastes. And don't worry, you won't miss the views.
Best restaurant in the world. You get pastries for the table, starter fruit, and then breakfast. Oh my gosh, look at that. And a river. Seb and I got the eggs Benny, while these two got the smoothie bowls.
So what's the verdict on our first meal on board?
Good. I ordered another one.
It was so good.
So good.
Yeah.
I think it calls for time for the famous bathroom tour. Oh my gosh, this is great. I love that it's like subtly glowing from behind the wall. Even the light behind the mirrors is just glowing from behind, so it's soft light everywhere. There's a couple of bright bulbs. I also like that it's not a square bathroom. It's got angles. It's warm. This is a nice, warm feeling bathroom. Yeah, one of the best. The day's not over. Another surprise has arrived.
The attendants on board don't miss a beat. But of course, the scenery never stops either.
We're now arriving into Whistler Village. This is the Whistler Village station. Nice welcome crew.
Now you might be wondering, Mike, I thought we were taking this train all the way to Jasper. Well, this is one of the unique features of this train.
Time to disembark, and we have all of Whistler to explore now.
Instead of riding on board overnight, where we'd miss all the views in the dark, we'll actually be stopping in 3 Canadian towns and staying overnight in hotels.
Oh wow, look at this station. And we're greeted by our buses. Bus 2? Bus 2, thank you.
Allowing us to explore these charming Canadian towns, starting here in Whistler.
Now, one thing I like so much about the Rocky Mountaineer is the organization. We're getting off at our hotel here, and they have for us, thank you very much, our room keys ready for us. Hi, Downey, please.
And it is Michael?
Yes.
401 on the 4th floor.
Oh, wow. This is nice.
First thoughts?
Nice. It's beautiful.
Nice enough?
Luxury, just like I like it. Smells good.
So the question is, what do we do with our time here?
But we didn't come all this way to see the hotel. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, we're going.
You ready to go see Whistler?
I'm ready to go see Whistler, man.
There are so many options of what you can do in Whistler.
So hot. What a nice day.
But I think the obvious choice is to go up the mountain.
This is the Blackcomb Gondola. It's going to take us about 25 minutes to get to the top. I've never gone up in one of these without skis. It's just in a t-shirt and shorts.
And I've never been up one in my entire life.
There you go.
First time.
Will and Austin are visiting from Texas, and I think they're pretty surprised to see just how much snow is up
It
here.
feels like we're in a different world from where we were 20 minutes ago. Down by the lakes.
It's hot enough to be in a t-shirt up here, but also cold enough to still have snow.
Oh, you got me, Mike. That was cold.
Welcome back to Canada.
Going on my foot.
You'll get used to it. This is beautiful. And as I was just saying, it's about 20 degrees up here and it feels hotter. Like I'm in a t-shirt next to snow. I'm cooking hot. This is great.
Now maybe exploring the mountaintop isn't for you. Well, let's head back down to the village, where you can enjoy some drinks on the patio of the famous Longhorn Saloon. Now, of course, my choice is to get a classic Canadian Caesar like I did here. And just to warn you, it usually ends up in dancing, both on the patio and in the town square. I think it's gotta be something in the mountain air. But if this isn't for you, the last option I'd recommend is to take in the natural beauty of Whistler and go for a swim in one of the lakes.
It's cold. It's very cold.
Oh, it's not that bad, Will.
It might be shocking to the Texans at first, but they eventually come around to it.
3, 2, 1.
It feels like the snow. Very much.
It is really nice. Way to go, Austin. I'm impressed. And the best part is, it's not over. Because we get to do it all over again tomorrow, which is actually today.
Now, day 2 is completely different to day 1. Sure, it does also start with a short bus ride to get us to the train,
Even the bus is beautiful, Rude.
It's beautiful.
but this will be both the best and the worst day of this trip. And on that cliffhanger, it's time to thank the sponsor of today's video.
Now, I want to thank the sponsor of this portion of the video, True Earth. Oh, great logo placement. True Earth has been the longest standing supporter of this channel, and that is because I believe in their products. Now, normally I would tell you about their laundry eco strips, or their dishwasher tablets, or their toilet bowl cleaner, or or even their laundry softener. But today, we're gonna be in the kitchen with their Swedish dishcloths and their compostable pop-up sponges. Now, I'm just gonna get the facts out of the way. This is zero plastic, compostable, and biodegradable. Inside the package comes 5 sponges, which look like this, fun colors, but they expand to be 9 times their size just by adding water to it. Use them for as long as you want, and when you're done with it, you pop it in the compost. No plastic. But it works just like a normal sponge. And similarly are the Swedish dishcloths. It's zero plastic, and these are reusable. In fact, they're machine washable up to 50 times. Of course, they're biodegradable and compostable as well. Now I know, cleaning the kitchen, not a sexy topic, but we all have to do it. Trust me, I am not smiling while I'm cleaning the kitchen, but I smile a little bit knowing that I'm not putting any extra planet into the world, and I thank True Earth for that. And if you want to look at any of the products that they use, including the Swedish dishcloths or the compostable pop-up sponges, click the link in the description down below and use discount code DOWNIE for 10% off. So thank you, True Earth, for making incredible products and sponsoring this portion of the video. Realistically, they work just the same as any other dishcloth. They're just sustainable. Thank you. Oh, I'm ready for day 2. And there is our majestic steed for day 2. Look at this. What a way to start the day. Coming up to our red carpet and flags with this in the background. And today is starting off with perfect weather. And it's not long till we're off already. The spirits this morning are high. Oh, it's breakfast already.
Breakfast. I haven't eaten all day.
We are grateful for that. Continuing.
Starting off with coffee and a fruit bowl, and then we come around the corner to this. But breakfast is quickly served and looks almost as good. Let me tell you, it didn't last long, which means I'm headed to my favorite spot to soak in this glorious moment. I have ridden on a lot of trains in my day, and this might be the most stunning piece of track I've ever been on. I mean it. This might just be the most perfect train experience I've ever had. And luckily, I'm with some great friends, which makes it all the better. We could have spent all day out here, but on a train, the landscape is always changing, which is another, even more turquoise lake to our right again. Yes, this is a different lake. Now, normally I would have some fun fact to tell you about this lake or some tidbit of information, but honestly, I really just don't know what to say, so I think I'll just let you enjoy it with us. Of course, the only thing that could make this moment better is just arriving at our seats.
There you are, mimosas for the morning.
Cheers, brother.
Good to ride the rails with you again.
Yes, indeed.
Now, moving from the peaceful lake and towards the raging river, well, perhaps this is an indication of what's about to come. So the landscape has really changed now. We're not running along the lake and temperate rainforest. We're now into a much drier climate along the Fraser River, which, funnily enough, starts in Jasper, which is where this train's going to end. It's fun to have a different landscape. It's going to be changing all throughout this trip, particularly today. It's now lunchtime, and in case you had any doubts about the food, now we're about to start lunch service, but we've been invited to take a quick look inside the kitchen. So everything is prepped and cooked right here on the train by Chef Howie, and it's made to order as well. So whether you have special requests off the menu or on the menu, they got you hooked up. What should I order off the menu for lunch today? What do you recommend?
Like to try the short ribs?
Okay. Short ribs, that's done. Thank you. For lunch today, we got a starter, and we have 6 options of entrees, plus 2 dessert options. But we just spoke to the chef, so we know what we're getting. So this view on a train is very unique. The Rocky Mountaineer is the only passenger train to run along this route. So you won't see these views from any other passenger train. And we've been climbing a lot for the last little while, and we'll be coming up to the Caribou Plateau shortly. So the views will change once again. Apart from the wine surprise, lunch is also served with an appetizer for the table. And then, of course, your individual meal. I think the chef gave us the right recommendation.
Yes.
This
looks so delicious.
smells so good. I know Chef Howie recommended the short ribs, but each one of us is happy with lunch. And while the food is amazing, oh wow. Wow.
the views continue to help elevate the experience, including a swimming moose.
That was a moose swimming.
After lunch, I like to get a little fresh air, and there's no fresher air than out here. Now, we've settled into the ride, but for me, as I mentioned earlier, this ride isn't really about seeing more mountains. It's about seeing more of these guys. Oh, we are just so focused on the landscape. We're loving this. Isn't that right, Will?
That's right.
It's the real world. It's really easy to get distracted, or even worse, just busy. But that's why it's important to make the time out here on this train, where we have nothing to do but be together. What do you think of the train and taking the train?
It's calm, it's adventurous. It reminds me of the Polar Express, but not Christmas time now.
It's like a summer express.
Summer Express, yes.
Feels good. It feels like the old times. You know, you got Seb here with you
Over there.
but I like him too. He's cool.
He just lives closer.
He's
than
part
you
of the
do.
train, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in the group now. You're in
It's-
the group, bro. Train,
You're
bro.
in, Seb.
Thanks for having me.
It's just fun to have a
It's fun
big
to have
group.
good people. Yeah.
You know, there's 4 of us now instead of just you and I.
Yep.
And it just makes it better.
Maybe one day we have the whole thing to ourselves.
whole
With
train?
all the train bros.
That'd be cool.
And maybe some train sisters as well. Yeah. But some people just can't handle all this fun. I love that we can do this. Not many other trains have decks. And it's such a nice hot day. Cattle on the loose, Seb. Cattle on the tracks. But this heat is exactly what's going to stop us in our tracks. The temperature outside is so hot that it has affected one section of rail ahead of us so badly that it has expanded and bent the rail, meaning we can no longer go forwards.
Rail yard there, so we'll just probably be waiting for some clearance from rail traffic control.
Now, this problem is not caused by the Rocky Mountaineer, but our attendants on board are quick to fix the problem.
Local brie cheese.
Okay.
Some rosemary crackers.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
He's back there.
That's fantastic. We have local brie cheese, dried figs, rosemary crackers, of course, paired with the local Sauvignon Blanc. So we're cozy, we're comfortable. Cheers. 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 I like any train that treats your delays with cheese and wine.
I agree.
Of course, distracting us will only work for so long, but the attendants are already working on a fix for us. So we've just had an update that the tracks ahead of us are under maintenance and they will not be available to us in the next little while, so they're ordering buses to come get us. While we're briefly moving again, this is not the end of the surprises. We didn't quite make it to Quesnel, but we made it to Williams Lake. And we will make it to Quesnel, just on a different mode of transport. Sometimes you just have to roll with the punches. These delays are out of their control, but I can tell you, they've taken pretty good care of us. This day stretched a little longer than expected, but they really do make the experience as efficient and comfortable as possible. We're not even off the bus, we already have our room keys. As they say, we're going to sleep well in Quesnel. Which brings us to day 3. But we might have bigger problems on our
So
hands.
I've heard that we have a delay, but we don't just have a little delay. We have a pretty major delay. We're not going to be leaving here until 11 a.m. this morning. But we're going
Time is 6:30 at the moment, which means we can do a bus tour. We've got free time. We can explore. It's more time for us to explore Quesnel. So I guess let me show you around. You know me. We're going to take this rare opportunity to explore the cute town of Quesnel. Lots to do. All right, we'll see you later.
See you later.
Okay, enjoy driving.
We're off on our walking tour. Each town has its own unique charm. They paint all their fire hydrants as people all around town. Yeah. And there's a little map you can find and read about each of them. I did not expect to be taking a fire hydrant walking tour on this trip, but it's an interesting way for us to see Quesnel. This is exactly why I organized this trip with these guys. This delay is oddly perfect for us, as we just enjoy exploring unique places together. Honestly, these are probably the moments that will end up being the most memorable for us. When you have more time, you're guaranteed to stumble into an interesting place or two. Now it's time for our tour of the city. This is all bonus time. We wouldn't have gotten to see any of this
had we not been delayed.
Yeah,
this is
I'm
why
excited.
I like delays.
And this bus tour is taking us beyond the average tourist destinations, but is giving us a thorough and in-depth tour of this town. Heck, even into the industrial areas. I can tell you, I learned more about Quesnel this morning than I thought I ever would.
And we're back. I guess next up is the train.
Let's go. Hopefully it's here.
Thanks very much.
Gotcha.
It looks like the train is about to arrive.
And with that, we're ready for our final day on board the Rocky Mountaineer.
Look at that. Right on, well, no, not right on time. But just as the bus got here. Morning, Andreas.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, you're back.
You can feel the excitement of being back on board.
Back on the train. Oh, I get the window seat today?
Yeah, you earned it.
We're off. Day 3. We'll arrive at Jasper this evening.
Okay,
Whoa.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We made it. Yay! Oh, facilitating all of this.
And so we're continuing towards the Rocky Mountains. And it's not long before we're back out on the deck to take in the scenery.
It's good to be back.
And before you know it, we're crossing not just a very tall bridge, but shortly after, we cross another one. Today's views are going to look very different from the last 2 days.
Because today didn't start as an ordinary day, instead of starting with breakfast, we're coming down for lunch. Oh, he's got champagne. A lot of makeup for this morning.
And really, it seems like the delays haven't hindered the mood at all.
Champagne! Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you. Cheers, fellas, to getting together on the train. Cheers.
That's what it's about, isn't it? Getting the right people together to do something interesting, something fun.
No shame.
Now, I don't know if the engineers are trying to make up for lost time this morning, but the train is not holding back today.
We're moving now. Holy.
And because of that, we can finally see what we've come for.
There they are. This is what we're here to see. This is why this train is called the Rocky Mountaineer. Will, what do we got?
The Rocky Mountains.
That's it. Snow-capped peaks.
Now, don't be deceived. Those mountains are mighty big, and they're still a ways away. We still have plenty of time on board to have a little more fun.
We just saw our bears. So we've seen moose, deer, mountain sheep, bear.
Yeah, and a mama with this cup.
Holy cow.
While some people might see our delays this morning as being a negative, but what it does mean is that we get the rare experience to be on board as the sun sets in the Rocky Mountains. I can tell you that I think this Rocky Mountaineer is my favorite route yet, but it definitely wouldn't have been the same without these three.
I guess we don't have to be so still and thoughtful.
Yeah,
we need to just have a good time.
I mean, if you're gonna be stuck on a train with the same people for 72 hours,
Vestibule is where it's at.
make sure you pick friends that can handle delays by laughing, or heck, even dancing. I'm pretty sure it's clear I made the right choice. I organized this trip to get us all together, and it was definitely worth it. I make these adventure videos every single week, so I'd love for you to subscribe and join me on the next one.
As I always say, I don't know where I'm going next, but we know we want you there with us. I'm surprised we nailed that on the first try.